All right, we are at tutorial session number 2 for the Academy. Let me end this video tab and start sharing my student screen. All right, so do y'all see my screen of the student dashboard with my overpowered guardian? All right. Hey, Dianelli. So, and Scarlett, welcome. All right, we got more folks filtering in because it just hit 10 o'clock, so we'll chill for a moment. By the way, like I said, I'm not totally looking at chat because I've got 3 screens. So if you ask a question and I don't answer it, I promise I'm not ignoring you. Just hold it until the end and I will answer all of your questions that you have. So I'm not ignoring you. If you ask a question in the chat, I just don't see it. Because I got my focus on the student screen. All right. More people are filtering in. We'll keep on. We'll hold off a second. If you are just logging in to the lesson, make sure you're logged into Academy of Heroes on another tab. I am going to put a second tab up in the Zoom that will explain to you exactly how to log into the Academy of Heroes. Everyone has an account. Unless you were literally enrolled in the last 45 minutes, everyone should have an account. It's your student ID number, which you can find in your gradebook. And this page, this second tab up here, and I will also drop the link in the chat if you need to access it later. That is the link that will give you direct directions on how to log in if you're having trouble. If you can't get logged in, stick around until the end and I'll get you sorted out. But we're going to go ahead and start with the tutorial session right now. So everyone should be logged in and on their student dashboard screen right here. The first thing we're going to go over are all of the options that are in the Forge. So if you want to go along with me, you can click on the Forge and I will show you the options. So if you can, as you can see at the top here, every level unlocks 8 new avatar images of increasing power. Now, the images themselves are just skins. They're like just cosmetic. So just the image doesn't give you any specific abilities or powers or anything. But you can pick whichever one you like. And then you can set it as your custom avatar. And that will change it on there. Down here, you also have some additional customization options. You are allowed 3 customizations per day. And I encourage you to use them as often as you can, because once you use one of your options, it's unlocked for you forever. So, for example, this image right here, let's say that I wanted to have blue hair. So you select your hair color from right here. I want blue hair and purple armor. And I want this hairstyle. Okay. Select the 3 you want and then click create it. And it will take a moment, sometimes more than a moment, because it's kind of regenerating stuff. So you can see the image has been changed to reflect what I wanted it to reflect. I got purpley armor, bluey hair, and a new hairstyle. So now you have that one unlocked. So what you would do then is it's already on it, so you hit set as custom avatar. And now that's your image. So you can customize your look if you like. And you can see that your number of metamorphosis tokens will go down to 2. Now it's supposed to show you the unlocked customizations that you've made, but it's not, but I'll fix that. But let's say I wanted black hair and red armor, and I want this hairstyle. I can click it, and it takes a moment. There you go. And I can set that as my custom avatar. So I would encourage everyone to explore that. But let's go back to some other Forge options here. We have the armory and the stable up here. Has anyone ever used that one? The armory or the stable? These things cost money though, but they have benefits. So the stable, there's Brannick, the stable master. We're going to delete, exit that tutorial. This is where you can buy your pets. Now, right now, the pets are cosmetic only, but hopefully sometime in the next couple of months, they are going to grant you certain things that I haven't decided yet. And anything that you buy now, if you buy a pet now, whenever that feature becomes active, the benefits will be applied to you. But right now, they're just cosmetic. So let's say I like Ignis Sprite here, little fire guy. He costs 300 gold. I'm going to purchase Ignis Sprite. And now I have Ignis Sprite as my pet. And I can grab him and move him around and put him wherever I want. I can use the up and down keys to make him bigger or smaller. And I can drag him and I can like put him on my shoulder if I want. Okay, so you can click and drag to put them where you want on the canvas, and then you can use the up and down keys to size the pet however you want. And then once you have it, you click Set as Custom Avatar, and there he is. The other thing is the armory. Armor also costs gold, but it actually gives you bonuses. Yeah, I got a bunch of hairstyles, so you can make the hair whatever you want. Armor. So last year we didn't have armor, and I think we did have it, but it didn't really do anything. Okay, so armor doesn't change the way your avatar looks, but it does change your stats. So if we go back to the Forge page, you can see that you have stats here. You've got an attack power, a defense power, spell power, memory, and luck. The two that you're all probably going to be the most interested in is memory and luck, but all of them have an advantage. Attack power makes you hit enemies harder in battles, so you'll do more damage. So if you are pretty confident in your ability to answer the questions, like you know the answers and you're pretty sure that you're going to get them right most of the time, you're going to want to buy armor that scales up your attack power. If you're not so sure about the questions and you find yourself frequently falling in battle, you'll want to buy stuff with defense power. If you use powers a lot to do damage or healing, like if you want to supercharge your healing or you want to supercharge your spell powers, you're going to want to focus on spell power. Attack power is just, if you get the question right, you hit harder, no powers applied. Spell power, regardless of whether you get the answer right or wrong, spell power is still going to work because it's based on your power. Now, memory gives you an experience point bonus. So your stat, your memory stat, and your luck stat is only based on the armor you're wearing. So it works for everything. It works for boss battles. It works for patrols. It works for training. Everything that awards you XP. If you have armor that grants you a memory bonus, your awards are going to scale up by that much. So the Forge, Armory. So right here, the Ranger's Helm. Notice here it gives us plus 1% luck. Notice here it gives us plus 1% memory. The helm gives us 1 defense power. A lot of these items are scaled by level. So you can only get the soldier's helm or like the shield helm once you hit level 4. and that gives you +1 attack power and +5 um, magic points. So it tells you what it does. So, for example, let's say that I want to get more experience points and I'm at least level 6. I can buy the ironclad helm that gives me +2% memory, purchase it. Okay, now I have it. And then I'm going to go into here and I'm going to equip the ironclad helm. Like I said, it doesn't change anything on your avatar image, but I have this equipped now. And you can equip an item for every slot. So if I go back to my dashboard now, it's going to see that I have +2% memory. So if you want to stack your XP, if you're a grinder and you're shooting for level 30 as soon as possible, then you want to stack your memory stat. If you like purchasing stuff, if you like buying the pets, if you like getting the rewards, you want to stack your gold. So you have customization options in the Forge. And like any other game, the more you like build your set, you like build your armory set, they're all mixable and matchable. Like you only wear one helm at a time, but they can be from different sets. So let's say that I wanted to get a shoulder piece here that also stacked memory. I could get the Blade Dancer cloak. I'll purchase that. And now I can equip that and go back to the avatar screen. And now I have +4. So that means with these two items equipped, I get a 4% bonus to anything that gives me experience. Okay. Any questions about the Forge? It is this is a like underutilized resource for people who like to play this game to get experience, unlock the powers, get gold. Because I don't know if I mentioned this, but at the end of this semester, you do get a pretty significant participation bonus based on your level. In my class, if you're in my class, so I've got a biology section and I've got an earth science section. So if you do this and you participate and you get your level up, you're going to get a participation bonus, because it has been my finding that everyone who participates in this game ends up with a better grade, just because you have to do so much practice to level up. Angela, you're in earth science. Rose, you're in earth science, I believe. So that being said, if you're in biology, your storyline is the Battle of Luminaria. It's the one we did last year. If you're in my class last year, we did the Battle of Luminaria. No spoilers. Earth Science has a new story called The Stones of Orlun. Two different narrative storylines, but both, all the experience and the goal and everything is the same, regardless of your storyline. Any questions about the Forge? Okay. Next thing we're going to do is your patrol powers. A lot of you have already gone on patrol. We went over this last time, so we're not going to go over this again. But I'm going to guess a lot of you probably have not unlocked your patrol powers. I have not unlocked the patrol powers on this character. The patrol powers are crucial to patrols. Patrols are designed for you to have powers. If you don't have powers, even if you answer the question 100% correctly, it's going to take you like 8 or 9 perfect questions to down the boss, depending on your level. But you have to unlock the patrol powers. You can unlock a tier in whatever order you want. So if you got 7 points and you just want to unlock those 2, it's fine. But you have to unlock everything at tier 1 before you can move on to tier 2. But when you get to an unlocked tier, you can unlock them in whatever order you want. If you find yourself you need more defense, you can unlock the defense-based power. More attack, the other way around. So I'm going to unlock all these patrol powers. Patrol powers only go up to level 20, but the level cap is 30. So now you can see that my little red circle's gone because I've unlocked all my patrol powers. Something else, I don't think I mentioned this last time, songs and stories. Anytime you do a patrol or a training or a boss battle or anything that involves you answering questions in one of the features, it's going to be recorded here in songs and stories. So you will have the means to review what you did. If you need to grab your study guide or your review sheet or whatever, songs and stories is where you go. That's basically your study guide section. Because the questions on here, as you guys have probably realized, most of them are direct takes from Pearson. Direct takes with the quick check questions and the test questions. All right, the next thing, there's nothing in special missions yet, but I'll show it to you anyways. I don't think there is. Yeah, I haven't written anything yet. But when we get to the portfolios, those will be set up as special missions. When you get to the portfolio assignments that you have to do in Pearson, they will also be here in special missions, and you can upload them for additional experience and gold. So once we get to the portfolios in your class, the big written assignments, check here, and those will be up. All right, here's the big one. This is mostly for earth science, but anybody can use it. So like I said, Miss Sill may not be running the boss battles all the time. She's going to run a few, but she's not going to run all of them. And I don't want the earth science class to miss out on the boss battles. So that's where group raids come in. Now, unfortunately, this is like class specific, and this character is in the Guardian of Earth guild. But group raids, theoretically, this is a new feature. It might bug out. I don't know. If it does, you guys have to tell me, but we're going to try it real quick right now. We'll see if it works. If you're in biology, you just have to watch because I can't do two at the same time. But someone else can. If someone else in biology is comfortable doing this, trying this, you can do what I do in earth science. So watch first and then see if you can recreate it if you're a biology student. So if you're in earth science, you can join this one that I'm about to do. So every group raid needs someone to start it up. So group raids. The only one, oh, hang on. You gotta fix something. Damn. One of the things that I set up is in order to access a boss, you have to have completed the proper number of chapters. So let's see who's been doing their chapters. Hold on. I got to set the chapter completion for this guy. Okay. So if you've unlocked the chapter that the boss is in, this will show. What are you guys talking about in the chat? Focus. So if you're in earth science, click group raids right now. Actually, don't do it right now. All right. So I'm the leader. I'm initiating this, and I'm going to begin the raid. Now, if you are in earth science, click group raids. And hopefully, if this works like I intended it to, you will join this battle. Can anyone in earth science click group raids and join the battle in progress? You have to be in earth science. If you're in biology, you can try to start your own. And then the people in biology should be able to join. So someone in earth science, try to click group raids and join this battle. Showed up for 1 second but disappeared. Refresh your screen and try again. this is my first true run of this feature, so I'm not surprised it's not working, but it's okay. I'll get it fixed. Yeah, if it won't let you in, that means you haven't unlocked your chapters. So you cannot access this unless you have completed up through Unit 2, Lesson 11 on the Earth Science Hubs, because you haven't made it to the boss yet. You have to make it to the boss before you can fight the boss. So what I'm going to do here is, once this is working, so if you want to try this, you're in? Okay. So basically, this is just like a boss battle, except you don't need a teacher. You see how there's a timer ticking down here? Okay. I should, Toes, if you're in, I should be able to see you here, but I can't, but I'll investigate that. But don't worry, I'll get it fixed. Bottom line is, this is a way for you to experience the boss battles without, if you don't do it in a live lesson. And as you unlock the content, as you complete the chapters, more and more bosses will unlock in the group raids. So if you want to start a group raid, and I'm also going to set it up so that the video shows at the beginning that you can watch or skip. But I'm going to just go ahead and enter an answer here. If you're in the battle, everyone enter an answer if you can. If not, it's okay. This auto advances, theoretically. Again, there we go. And it'll show you the round over thing, and it'll hold there for like, I think 5-10 seconds, show you if you got the correct answer or not, and then it'll advance to the next one. So this is boss battles without a teacher. You're on the, William, I think you clicked on prepare for battle. You need to click on group raids. Okay, right now I've only got it set up so you can do 1 per day. I'm going to increase that to 3 in a minute. But basically, the way you would set this up is, like, if there are some people in the guild chat who want to run a group raid, one person starts it, and then once it's started, the other people can join it. There might be some bugs. I'm going to work on it, but that's the group raid function. Okay. Once it's working, I had a lot of people asking about this last time because, not everyone makes every single live lesson. They miss the boss battles. You don't get as much experience for a group raid as you get for a real live boss battle, but you get more than patrols because it takes longer. You have to keep doing questions until the boss's hit points are 0. Okay. Next thing we're going to go over are your out of combat powers. Did anybody see these at the bottom yet? These out of combat powers? So this is a guardian. So if you hover on them, it will show you what they do. They're different for every class. Mages, guardians, healers have different out of combat powers. These are basically helpful powers that you can use to assist others or yourself. So basically, if you're a guardian who is out of magic points and you need them and you can't afford a mana potion and there's no mage around to restore some mana for you, as an emergency measure, you can convert your own health points into magic points. So you can see here, my hit points went down. I converted 10 hit points into 7 magic points. Blood Bond, if there's someone who is not doing well in terms of health, they're really low and they want to go on a group raid with you, or they need to do their patrols or something, and there's no healer around, or they can't afford a mana potion, you can give up half of your hit points to someone else. So let's see if I can give some hit points to Toes here, who's currently a bit low. Toes? Are you alive, Toes? Has Toes been restored? Now you can see that my hit points went down a lot because I did that. There you go. So you can give up half of your hit points to restore someone else. Warbanner gives everyone in your company increased experience points. So I'm going to cast Warbanner. No, I'm not. I'm not in a company. This character's a freelancer. But if you were in a company and you cast Warbanner, everyone gets 25% from their next increased experience from their next patrol. Token of Grit. This will keep someone from falling in a patrol or a battle. So if you cast Token of Grit on someone, the next time they would have fallen, they will be reduced to 1 hit point instead. Oh, thanks, Jade. Appreciate it. Fresh Patrol gives everyone 1 additional patrol. But you can only get that once every 24 hours. So right now, the max patrol count is set to 3. If a Guardian uses Fresh Patrol, that number will go up to 4. But you can't stack them. So in other words, you can't get 5 Guardians to cast it 5 times and get 10 patrols. But it does grant you an extra one. All right. Last thing that we're going to do today. And this is kind of the big one. We're going to go over all this stuff tomorrow. But has anyone ever done an escape room? Anyone ever go to an escape room where you got all the little puzzles and you try to escape the room? Yeah? Even if you've never done it, do you know what it is? It's kind of like the thing where you have to undo the locks and find the clues and all this and that. We're going to go over all of this stuff next week, but I want you guys to try the Living Saga. All right. The Living Saga. I only have one right now because this one took me all summer to make because this is the gamiest part of Academy of Heroes. Anyone ever done a point and click adventure? Like a game where you have to point, click, take an action, kind of like a graphic novel type game. This is that. And you can save it. So I'm going to click on the Sunken Vigil and I'm going to start a new one, and you can save it, but I'm going to start a new one on this character. Okay. So the Sunken Vigil is like an individual type of escape room mission. And these are made to take a long time to finish. So to get to it, you're going to click on the Scholars. You're going to click on the Scholars Hall on your dashboard, and then go to the Living Sagas at the bottom, and then click on the Sunken Vigil. And it'll give you a little background of what you're here to do. Read it. Otherwise, you will have a hard time. And you're going to begin. And you'll see that you have an interface here. And you must read the text, or you are not going to know what to do. And auto advance the text. You can go back and see your text history. But you'll see here, you have an interface. You can prepare your saga powers on the previous saga powers. You start with your light, and then a light bulb. It's not under Forge, it's just the main page. It's called the Scholars Hall. It's under the button is underneath. Yes, that's right. You'll see your hit points, your magic points. You can hit C to keep your character stats. You have it equipped, that works in here too. Okay. There's a save button up here. This is designed to take a long time. It's taking a long time to figure out. This is the thing you're going to progress through. So when you want to save it, you can click save. There's a help button here. It tells you all the commands and how it works. Okay. So, for example, Anybody have any ideas on this first screen? The little green glowing dots are an interaction. So what should we do with this first screen? Any ideas? Glitchy? Can you hear me now? Hang on. I muted it. Can you hear me? Is that better? Okay. Yeah, sorry. My mic was picking up my music. I muted it. So on this first screen, you are meant to save this. This is not something you're going to complete in one go. So you can click here to save your progress. You can come back to it later. Because I had my son and a couple of his friends run through this. Total time to get from the beginning to the end was about 5 hours. So this is not some you can do it all the way through. You got 5 hours and you're really good, but you can save it and do it a little piece at a time. So on this first screen, the little green glowing lights, those are the interaction points. What should we do? Any ideas? If you die, you get sent back to the beginning, but you can restore your save progress. And then, but you have to get healed before you can go back in. You want to knife the rope? All right. So let's just try to take. So right here, take. We're going to highlight take the rope. The rope is knotted around the pine. It won't come loose by hand. You'll have to cut a length free. If only you had a knife you could use. But we do. We are going to use the knife. What would you like to use the knife on? We are going to use the knife on the rope. You saw through the slack with the knife, coil the loose length, and stow it in your satchel. And now we have a rope. Okay. Anything else? You can examine everything, examine all the dots, see what's going on. You can check these patrol powers, they're saga powers. Okay. We can try to talk to the broken dome. You greet the old stone. The runes along the rim glow on, unbothered. You decide not to mention to anyone that you tried to chat with the building. All right. But we can click move because there's a move arrow right here, and we can enter the sunken vigil. Okay. So if you complete the sunken vigil, you get up to, depending on how you did, 1,500 experience points. And you can do it once per day if you have the gumption to get through it once per day. Most of you probably won't, but that's okay. There are enemies in here. There are random spawns of enemies, and it works exactly like patrol. There are things in here that can hurt. For example, the grasping vines. Let's examine them. Pale vines hang along this stretch of wall, thick with long gray thorns, thorns that seem to take great pleasure in stabbing into flesh. Let us try to take these grasping vines. Oh, should not have done that. We just took some damage. So there are things in here that can hurt. There are things that you have to use powers to clear. There are puzzles. There are traps. There are a few things that result in you being fallen instantly. So like many other games like this, the key is to save often. Save often. Because if you fall, you have to restore your save point. All right? But that is the living saga. If you want lots of experience points, solve this. Because even though it might take you a long time to solve the first time, once you know what to do, it goes much, much faster. And you can do it once per day. Once you have solved all of the puzzles and the traps and you know what to click and you've gone through it, you can do it in about a half an hour, depending on how many random enemies spawn for you. Because obviously enemies take a longer time to finish off. And the enemy questions work just like a patrol. You got to put in a short answer. Sometimes it's multiple choice. Okay. But once you know all the puzzles in the saga throughout this, you could probably clear it in about a half an hour to 45 minutes on average for 1500 experience. But across the course of that, you're probably going to have to down 10 to 15 monsters, depending on your luck. And the better you do on the monsters, the more experience points you get. So we are going to go back to the Academy by clicking the R button. So if you click the R button up here, save progress, return to the Academy. It'll take you back. And now I can restore my saved game, and it puts me right back in the room I was in. Yes, after you complete it, you can do it once per day. So even if you get through to the end and you finish it, it will be available for you again the next day. Yeah. You can only complete it once per day, but you can do it every day if you want. Um, I'm working on a second Living Saga, but these take, out of everything, these take the longest time to do. But they're so fun for me to do. And another one should show up right here when it's ready. Right here is where you prepare your saga powers. So you get, based on your level, you unlock additional slots. So you get one at level 1, you get a slot at level 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. So as you level up, you unlock more slots. And you can prepare whatever powers suit your playstyle the best. So there's 12 kind of general powers that everyone can use. Okay. And you can hover on them to see what they do. And then each class has their own set of 12 powers too. So this is a Guardian, so I have access to these powers. And this Guardian is level 30, so I have access to all of them. But when you level up, you get extra slots. So you can prepare whatever suits your fancy. Uh-huh. All right. So that is going to be what we covered for today. I encourage everyone to explore the options in the Forge. And look, I know that a lot of you guys are really into just saving up to buy in. If you're an experience point grinder, I know that a lot of you are really into just saving up your gold so you can buy Imperial training sessions. Okay. But take the long view, because trust me, if you can get armor and get your experience and or gold point percentage up to like plus 10%, that's going to outdo like anything from the Imperial training sessions real quick. So if you are a grinder who's trying to level max, you want armor, and you can sell your armor back to the shop for a percentage of what you paid for it. So you can swap it out. Be active in your customization options. All right. Right. All right, folks, that's it for today's tutorial session. Next week, we're going to go over all of this other stuff in the Scholar Hall. By the way, you don't need to wait for the tutorial session to try these. Everything is up and active. Academic Council won't work because that's like a group thing. Don't try to do Academic Council because, well, you can, but it won't work. But the Question Forge, the Codex, the Mentor's Trial, the Arena of Minds is a group duel. If you can get a few people together from the chat, you need at least 3. You can try to queue up for the Arena of Minds to see it. All of this stuff gives you experience. You don't have to wait for my tutorial session to try it. Try it. See what happens. If you mess it up, then, you don't get the experience for that day. No big deal. better than not trying at all. But we're going to go over those together in the next tutorial session. So I will stick around for questions, but that is it for today. Let me stop recording and I'll stick around for questions.